Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Main Roster Podcast on the Jez Show Podcast Network. My name is Jeremy. I'm alongside my good friend Daniel Trudgett once again. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there in this lockdown. I'm probably better than a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we're both probably a lot better than some people, so we're lucky.
Indeed. And we've still got the wonderful televisual feast that is World Wrestling Entertainment to keep us
we do.
sane/insane simultaneously.
Yeah, I don't think they keep us much sane.
There is no sanity here, especially not on this podcast.
Especially what happened last night.
We're here to discuss what happened last night in that Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And we may be foreshadowing a little bit, but mixed opinions, I will say from the outset.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, my first takeaway, and I'm not going to say what I think of this, but you may be able to garner, is the event was only 2 hours and 23 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a short one.
It was. I think it might be the shortest pay-per-view event since the ill-fated December to Dismember ECW pay-per-view, WWE ECW pay-per-view.
Oh, back in the day.
In the dark days.
The dark days of ECW.
But let's crack on with the event, shall we? And see what we thought of the matches individually, first of all.
Yes.
And what I want to start with, actually, before we really do get into the event, is a match that should have been on the pay-per-view, but it wasn't. It was on SmackDown this week instead.
Yes.
And that is Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Now, it should have been the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It was the culmination of the rivalry between these two, or at least it was the first big hurrah in this rivalry. They may have subsequent matches. Yeah. And in this match, Sonya Deville defeated Mandy Rose.
She did.
Why wasn't this at Money in the Bank? Why wasn't it on the pay-per-view?
Because WWE.
I'm asking you accusingly. I want the answer, Daniel.
That's the answer, because WWE.
It's you can talk as much as you want about women's revolutions and how we're putting women on an equal pegging, but then when you turn around to do things like this, and you've been building this for ages, you've got a big focus on the male side of this rivalry between Otis and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And this event doesn't make it to this match doesn't make it to one of your big events.
Oh no.
It's shocking. It's unbelievable.
It's very
because
depressing.
when you look at the match, like, obviously these are not two of the greatest women's competitors in the company. No. I don't mean to be insulting when I say that, but they're not, for whatever reason, at the caliber of your Becky Lynch's, your Charlotte Flairs, your Asukas, etc.
No.
But the match that they had on SmackDown was good. It was a really good match. It was compelling.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Mandy Rose did a great job of selling the injury from the previous week and harkening back to it all the way through. It was a fantastic match, and it really, really deserved the spotlight of, if at the very least, the pre-show of the pay-per-view. If you couldn't quite bring yourself to put it on the main show, then the pre-show would have been a bit more of a kudos than where they put it.
Yeah, it was just a waste.
Absolutely.
Waste of, their talent, really, because they are talented. And I think they're getting better. And it needed more, as you said. Women's Revolution. Great. That happened for about 5 seconds.
And I'm not sure that anything malicious was meant by it. I think it's ineptitude more than anything, because it seems to be that opportunities are being missed across the board.
Yeah.
During this lockdown, they could be doing much more. They could be capitalizing on the fact that their arenas are empty and they can pre-tape and they can do what they want, basically.
They can go nuts.
in the same way that AEW have been, and their week-on-week product has been fantastic.
Yeah.
WWE aren't quite rising to the occasion in the same way.
Yeah.
And this is a big example of what could have brought viewers in, and instead they gave it away for free on television.
Yeah. It's a shame. That's all I've got to say. Really disappointing.
Speaking of giving things away on television that maybe you probably should have kept for the main part of the pay-per-view, let's move on to the first bit of action.
So the first action we saw on the night was Jeff Hardy take on Cesaro, which was on the kickoff show. Cesaro turned on the intensity in this match, laying in hard hits and holds on Hardy. This all helped Hardy to make a babyface comeback, though. By using the ring steps and balancing on the barriers, Hardy was able to use his surroundings to gain the victory. Of course, me being a Hardy fan, saying as I hold up my championship, that is a Jeff Hardy championship. Yeah, good to see Jeff Hardy.
But again, surely the triumphant return of Jeff Hardy from his drug-addled nonsense and whatever you want to call it,
alcohol, etc.
They've been building this for weeks. He had the speech on SmackDown. Surely he deserved a bit of pay-per-view time as well.
Spotlight. Yeah.
Dear oh dear.
Yeah, he's got renegated to the kickoff show.
And it was an all right match.
I liked it.
It was a Jeff Hardy match. It was a Cesaro match.
Yes.
You know what you're getting with these two, and they either kind of go through the formula or they knock it out of the park. And they didn't knock it out of the park. Let's be honest.
No, I will say it didn't knock it out of the park, but it was. You could watch it without getting bored. Absolutely,
yeah. And I really enjoyed the beginning of the match more so than anything, with Cesaro kind of really being methodical and controlling Jeff Hardy, really putting the licks in on him to give him that opportunity to come back as a babyface. We got a bit of Jeff Hardy doing his jumping on guardrails and flying around and
jumping around.
The Jeff Hardy that people know and love. So
yes.
We got what we wanted from the match, just not the location of the match, really.
Yeah. Yeah. We wanted a bit. Another one that we wanted on the main bit.
It did strike me as a bit strange that there was really no mention of Sheamus and the past partnership that Cesaro had with Sheamus. It would have been so easy to link that together and say, look, the bar isn't together anymore, but Cesaro is doing his old mate who they never broke up officially. They just were separated and things happened. So they didn't have a falling out, as it were.
No.
So as far as kayfabe continuity, whatever you want to call it, is concerned, these guys are still friends. So Cesaro reasonably could have been doing a favor for Sheamus and trying to take some licks out of him before their inevitable contest down the line.
I was expecting to see Sheamus interfering in this match somehow.
Yeah.
With considering how Sheamus has been going on about Jeff Hardy for a couple of weeks now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And all that sort of thing. And obviously, as you say, Cesaro being in the bar with Sheamus, it would have been good because then you could start building a proper storyline with it.
I think they're so scared of people wanting the bar back together that they really wanted to keep those guys separate as much as possible. And that included not mentioning Sheamus at all in this match, but needing somebody credible for Jeff Hardy to go over to show he's back. It was there were probably other guys that could have done this job rather than Cesaro to avoid all that, but who knows who's there and who's not in this coronavirus deal.
Don't know. Some of them seem to have disappeared off the face of the planet anyway.
Yeah. Some of them have not come back since America went into a semi-lockdown.
Yeah, semi-lockdown.
So we'll see who we get to see over the next couple of weeks, as America seem to be working towards bringing crowds back in and getting back to business as usual.
Yeah, they do.
Good luck to you folks, rather you than me.
Have fun.
Moving on then, the main portion of the pay-per-view kicked off with the Fatal 4-Way match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Despite being a Fatal 4-Way match, it was an awful lot of one-on-one throughout the match, with the majority of it being laying / hanging around outside the ring while two people fought in the ring.
Yeah.
No team really gained momentum in the match, but the New Day were able to retain their championships by pinning the Lucha House Party.
Yeah.
Who could have guessed that it would be the Lucha House Party, the irrelevancy in the match, that would pick up the loss officially? Who could have predicted it?
Well, there was at one point where I thought the Lucha House Party was actually going to win.
I think especially Lince Dorado looked really good.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good. Flying
around and doing bits and bobs. It was Lince Dorado that did the spot with John Morrison with the Spanish Fly, wasn't it? Or was that Gran Metalik?
Yeah, I think that was... I can't remember which one that was.
I may be praising the wrong Lucha House bro, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Lince Dorado. I may be wrong. The problem is they used to have very distinct kind of masks.
Yeah,
were very distinct from each other, but they've just kind of merged a bit together into one over the last few months.
A bit, it's the same, aren't they?
Yeah. It's interesting. At least
I like how
else.
I like how Corey Graves on commentary, I don't know if you heard it, said that Gran Metalik looks like Juventud Guerrera.
I didn't hear that, but it's funny you say that, because as I was scrolling through WWE Network on my PlayStation to watch, obviously this was the first match, so the thumbnail for this match was underneath, and I was like, hey, that looks like Juventud.
Juventud. As my mum says.
It did look like Juventud Guerrera. It looked like a cross between Juventud Guerrera and Jushin Thunder Liger, in fact.
Yes.
The attire that he was wearing.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I didn't hear Corey Graves say that. So it's funny that
he did.
Was a connection that was made.
He said something along the lines of, I didn't realise Juventud Guerrera was in this match, or something like that.
And that's a reference that probably went off over 60% of the audience.
Yeah.
Like, what's a Juventud?
Juventud?
Surely you mean Juventud?
Juventud.
I remember Juventud from WCW.
WCW. But getting back.
But otherwise, the match was fine, I suppose.
It was all right.
I was hoping to have a lot more, actual Fatal 4-Way kind of action. I expected it to be 4 people in the ring at one time, and you have to tag in and out to your own partner.
Yeah.
That to me is a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. What we had here was really a 4-corner tag team match, which is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And so people need to be working on their match types and their specific choice of language in WWE, I think, because this wasn't a Fatal 4-Way.
This was not a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. And I agree with you. I agree with you. It should be, if it's a Fatal 4-Way tag team match, one competitor from each team should be in the ring at once.
Yeah, and you can only tag your own partner to bring that in and out.
So there's 4 people in the ring at one time.
Yeah, and you will then inevitably still end up with some laying on the floor, as you do with any Fatal 4-Way. But at least we would have seen a bit more, at least 3 people action and some 2 lots of one-on-one in the ring, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah.
It just lacked that, and because they were tagging quite frequently, it was hard to keep up who was legal. It was just a bit of a mess, and it didn't really do justice to the spots that were going on. They obviously worked hard to put some of these little intricacies in, and eventually get Jackson Riker ejected, and the spot with Jomo and the Spanish fly into the people. There were lots of good moments, but it just didn't all come together to my satisfaction.
Yeah, no, it didn't at all. So, but
prediction-wise, I've totally forgotten who we predicted. I believe you picked the New Day to retain. Did you not?
On this one I can remember.
Yeah.
And you predict Morrison and Miz.
I did, yeah. I seem to remember that. Yeah. Probably should have written this down. This is a professional podcast, folks. This
is very professional.
We're fully pre-planned with who we picked a week ago, or less than a week ago.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that you picked the New Day, so that's 1-0 to you so far. Could have really gone any way in this match, but
But the next match we didn't predict.
No.
Because we didn't know it was happening.
Yeah, and big sigh.
Yes. But the next match, for some godly reason, was a match between R-Truth and Bobby Lashley. Lashley obviously dominated and basically beat R-Truth.
Yeah, he just annihilated him for a couple of minutes, and
job done.
Why?
I don't know.
What was the point? And there was the little thing later where R-Truth was like, I'm going after Rob Gronkowski. Oh, he didn't even say I'm going after Rob Gronkowski. I'm going after Tom Brady, he said.
R-Truth being R-Truth.
Did that mean anything to you as a non-NFL guy?
No.
Okay, so there's a little bit, and it's probably worth explaining to a British audience that we cater to what that was all about. So Rob Gronkowski obviously is an American football player.
Yes.
He had retired from American football from a team called the New England Patriots.
Right.
Very recently, the quarterback of the New England Patriots, who is a very famous person in the world of American football, arguably the best player of all time, by the name of Tom Brady. He left the New England Patriots for the first time in, I want to say, 18 years. I think he's been with them since he started. He's won 6 Super Bowls with this team, and all of a sudden he's out the door. He's gone to a team local to the WWE Performance Center in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whose home stadium is Raymond James Stadium, where WrestleMania was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
So that was the connection originally. But after winning the WWE 24/7 Championship at WrestleMania, Rob Gronkowski unretired and was traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to join his former quarterback, Tom Brady.
Right.
So where R-Truth said, I'm going after Tom Brady, he was just picking the wrong teammate, or the wrong person that's a teammate and is very closely linked with Rob Gronkowski.
Well, that's what R-Truth does, isn't it?
Yeah, he gets it a bit wrong.
Yeah. So, but it's just, I don't get this match.
I don't get the match. I don't get R-Truth. I don't get the 24/7 Championship. I don't get why we haven't had Rob Gronkowski drop it yet. Yeah. Everything about this situation confuses me immensely.
I just like the fact that R-Truth calls it the 24/7 7-Eleven European Intercontinental blah blah.
But it was different this time.
It's always different.
But it was substantially different. He didn't say European television, any of that kind of championship stuff. There was some really random stuff in there.
I know, it's just getting random. He's just going to start saying random stuff now.
Yeah. if he hasn't started already, to be honest.
Yeah. But
anyway,
I
would officially like to declare this a match that happened.
Yes, this is a match that definitely happened.
For the record, this is a match that happened.
Yes, it did.
And this, Daniel,
yes,
got time on the main pay-per-view. More so than
Jeff
Hardy, more so than the women's match. We got the glorious match of R-Truth versus Bobby Lashley on the main pay-per-view. Cheers for that, Vince McMahon. It makes me pretty angry, to be honest. It makes me very angry.
I know it makes you angry.
It's not particularly healthy, I know, but
how angry are you right now?
I'm trying to contain it all. It's like held deep down in my core.
Yeah.
And I know that's not very healthy. So
no,
maybe
not.
I need something.
You need something.
I need something to kind of release my anger and chill back out, I think. You got any ideas?
Do you know what you could use?
What?
You could use your LSW mind cards.
Do you know what? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And while we're on the very nicely segued topic of LSW mind cards, there's no time like the present to give a shout out to our friends at LSW Mind Cards. It is a pack of 45 individually designed cards, each with a tool or a task to help you increase your well-being, boost your mood, and help you move towards a more fulfilled life. When WWE's booking drives you up the wall, grab an LSW Mind Card and chill out. They've got some nice techniques to help you recenter yourself.
Yes.
I know that after we're done recording here, I'm going to go and pick one up and try and bring myself back down a little bit, because it ain't getting any less angry as we get through this pay-per-view, folks.
No, but
so you can visit thejezshow.com. Let's start that again. You can visit thejezshow.com/LSW to find out more and pick up a pack of cards that will change your life today.
Lovely. Well, but however, Jeremy, do you know there's something else that might make you much happier?
What's that?
Well, I think it might be our new line in the main roster merchandise.
Bang. Okay.
Bosh.
So we did intend to reveal this last week, but again, the professional kind of guys we are, kind of forgot. So bringing it on to this week, let's just share my screen.
Yes.
I don't know what we can see here. Can we see anything useful? Yes, we can.
We
okay.
Can.
So we have partnered with Redbubble to bring you the main roster merchandise. Other Jez Show Podcast Network merchandise will be available going forward here as well, all in one place. We've got 2 designs so far that you can pretty much have on anything you could think about buying. So obviously t-shirts are the thing that most people would be interested in, but there are lots of other things as well. I'll run through a few of them quickly, but our principal design here is it was a match that happened t-shirts. You can get them in this light grey color. Some of the designs are on a white t-shirt or product. You can also get it in black with white text. And literally there are so many different types of product that you can get this on: t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, baseball tops, zip up jackets, men, women, everything in between, whatever you identify as, you can find a t-shirt that fits your style. Mini skirts, covers for iPads, cell phones, laptops, sleeves for laptops. You could get it on a canvas, mount it on your wall. You can get it on a clock, a duvet, a mug. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm going to lose my voice listing all these things. But there are so many different things that you can get these designs on. And the 2 designs so far are: it was a match that happened, and this red and yellow inspired Rostamania design, showcased here on this wonderful floor pillow. But as with the It Was a Match That Happened set, you can get it on many other things as well. Notebooks, hardcover journals, all kinds of things. So yeah, the first in many, many different things that you can get from the main roster and the Jez Show Podcast Network in general.
Yeah,
you're right. That did make me feel better.
Yeah, good.
I'll feel even better when I'm sat here in a It Was a Match That Happened t-shirt. But
oh yeah, I need to get a load.
I need to put my order in now that we've got that sorted with Redbubble.
Yes.
Shout out to the good folks at Redbubble.
Boom.
Right, so we get back to the wrestling action.
Yes.
Next up, then, the women took center stage as Bayley defended her SmackDown Women's Championship against Tamina. Bayley started the match, pushing Tamina around, but the challenger quickly countered that, manhandling the champ with rough slams. It wasn't too long, though, before Bayley regained the advantage by attacking the legs of Tamina with the ring post and the apron. As is often the case, the distraction of Sasha Banks was the difference in this match. And as Tamina chased Banks around, Bayley rolled her up into the crucifix and picked up the 1, 2, 3. Can I just say that Sasha Banks was very distracting in this match?
Yes.
Not just for Tamina, if I might say so.
Yes. I'd have to agree with this one.
Let's discuss the match, shall we, before this gets out of hand?
Yes.
I was very, very surprised with the opening and the extent to which Bayley really went for Tamina.
Yeah.
Given that they've built Tamina as a monster in the same vein as the other women, similar, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler and Asuka, they built Tamina in exactly the same cloth as them, as a monster that you don't mess with. But Bayley definitely messed with her in the opening of this match.
Yeah, she was messing around. She was playing around with Tamina.
Yeah. So. It was very heel, but I wasn't expecting it at all. I was expecting a more kind of timid, scared, hide in the corner, like sit in the ropes and say, "Get her back, ref, get her back." That kind of Bayley that we have seen in previous matches.
Oh yeah.
So I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised at the opening of the match.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think just the thing about this match is we all knew who was going to win. Yes,
but that didn't mean that there were points in this match where I was thinking, "Oh, my Dan's both our pick might be in trouble here."
Yeah, there was a few moments, but then
the inevitable happens.
Yes.
And as we also semi-predicted, Sasha Banks kind of got involved and was the difference maker.
Yes, and just got distracting for everyone.
For every party involved. Yeah,
even the watchers.
So as we alluded to, this match was a wash in terms of our predictions. We both predicted correctly.
Yeah.
So you still lead by 1 so far.
1-0. But
and there's not really a whole lot more to say about this match. It was fine. It was only ever a kind of time filler to take us through empty arena shows to put Bayley in front of somebody else.
Yeah.
Not quite sure where this goes next.
I don't either.
I don't think we go back to Lacey Evans yet. I think we're waiting for that. So who knows? Maybe Dana Brooke, because they love Dana Brooke.
Oh, God, we'll talk about Dana Brooke later.
If it's not Dana Brooke versus Bayley at Backlash, then what are we even here for? What's the point in life?
For Lana to come and face Bayley.
Wrong brand, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, she can face Becky Lynch then.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'm good with that.
There we go. So, moving on. We have the Universal Championship was on the line next as Braun Strowman defended against Bray Wyatt. Strowman dominated the start of the match until the moment he attempted to barge Wyatt into the announce table. Wyatt sidestepped and sent the champion crashing over the table to the floor. Bray kept on Braun, eventually hitting Sister Abigail, but Strowman kicked out at 2. Braun Strowman won the match by tricking Wyatt into believing he had returned to the family, wearing the black sheep mask and hugging his creator. This was a trick, though, and Strowman retained his title with the running power slam. Wasn't too bad of a match, actually.
See, I feel like I should have liked this match, but I really didn't.
No?
And I'm struggling to articulate why I didn't like it. It was just a bit inevitable.
Yeah.
It's as we discussed on the kind of preview of this. They've put Bray Wyatt in this match rather than The Fiend because they're going to do this again. Yeah. And we had little flashes of The Fiend at the end, kind of confirming that. I don't think this needed to happen on pay-per-view.
No. It could have happened like on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure the Universal Championship has ever been defended on SmackDown. So that would have been a nice thing to do. Have. I mean, the WWE title obviously has, but the Universal title has only been on SmackDown for 6 or 8 months or whatever it is since the draft.
Yeah.
So that hasn't actually been defended on television, mostly because it was held by people who weren't around very much. Yeah. They weren't on SmackDown to defend the title.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to just have this on television and start building towards the inevitable rematch with The Fiend rather than Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have cut another 20 minutes out of the pay-per-view and it would have been even shorter, but
flipping out, it would have been just 2 hours long.
It also didn't add anything to the pay-per-view, in my opinion.
Sort of agree with you. I was just more surprised to see Bray Wyatt actually do some proper wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, the kind of formula for Bray Wyatt rather than The Fiend has been just get the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah.
So he did put more of a fight in than we were kind of expecting.
Yeah.
But I suppose he had to because of the history with Bray Wyatt rather than with The Fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I liked about this match was the little dialogue between them towards the end of the match with Bray Wyatt saying, like, I told him you would come home. I told him.
Yeah. Where he's wearing the black sheep mask.
Yeah. And the idea that Bray Wyatt can have a little dialogue with The Fiend as if he's a completely separate person.
Yeah. Like split personality.
Yeah. And I think that's the only thing I liked about the whole match. Like the wrestling was fine, the spots were fine, the bit with the announce table was cool. It just wasn't floating my boat in the way that I would really have liked.
Yeah. So
and again, in terms of predictions,
we both predicted right.
We did. We both picked Braun Strowman because that was the only outcome.
Yes, of course.
If you give us inevitable matches, we're going to pick the right people. It's the way it is.
Oh yes.
Speaking of inevitable outcomes, we will move on to the last title match of the night, which saw Seth Rollins with brand new entrance music.
I know.
Challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Throughout the match, each man had periods in which they held the momentum, but as the match progressed, Drew started to favour his knee and shoulder after Rollins had worked on them consistently. This did not stop Drew kicking out from both a super kick and a frog splash, and this continued later in the match as Drew kicked out at 2 from the stomp. Rollins went for a stomp again, but Drew countered, and despite being super kicked in the face, hit the Claymore and pinned Rollins to leave Money in the Bank still WWE champion.
Mm.
It was actually a good match.
Yeah.
And again, we're calling quite a lot of what happened here. It kind of redeems the WrestleMania match being so poor.
Yes.
You kind of got two matches in one here with the content of what happened in the match. You had periods where both men dominated. You had action outside the ring. You had moments where it looked like either man could have won.
Yep.
Very surprised to have that quick kick out at one by Drew McIntyre. That was a nice touch. I was less happy with Drew McIntyre being able to hit the Claymore, even though he had been super kicked.
Yeah.
But I have
disappointing.
Larger issues with the amount that Seth Rollins overuses the super kick.
Yeah.
While criticizing people like the Young Bucks for overusing the super kick. It's massively hypocritical, but that's a story for another day.
That's a story for another podcast, I think.
What did you think of this match overall?
I enjoyed it. Good to watch. Nice amount of action. Good back and forth. Just genuinely liked it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I suppose we need a new classification that's above this was a match that happened, because that's for boring, mediocre matches. But matches that kind of meet expectations, are good, but don't do anything special. We need a classification that's a bit higher up there.
Yeah, we need to think about that.
I'm not sure how to describe that, but whatever it is, that's where this match falls.
Yeah.
It was good, but not thrilling.
Yeah.
I like a thriller in Manila.
A thriller in Manila. There you go. That's your catchphrase.
Thriller in Manila.
I like Seth Rollins' new music.
I do and I don't. It's another in the long line of generic entrance themes that WWE are bringing back out again.
Yeah.
We're kind of stepping back into the mid-90s with generic music rather than music with lyrics or band music.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a step backwards. It's happening quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in NXT. You can forgive it a bit more in NXT because they're on their way up. You don't want to waste epic entrance music on someone that might not make it. But
I just think it suited it a bit more the Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah, it's more consistent with his character than his kind of burn it down frenetic rave rock music. I'll give you that. I do prefer him having this to his previous. Yeah. I just hope it develops a little more as we go forward. Maybe have some chanting or bring in a choir to kind of
get some choirs
wild
going.
Incantations. Oh, the Monday Night Messiah.
Don't quit your day job.
Which one?
Any of them.
Okay.
Dear.
Another correctly predicted match all round.
Both drew.
We knew that Drew McIntyre was walking out champion. He's going to have at least semi-long reign. He's going to hold the belt throughout the empty arena period of WWE.
Yeah.
The empty arena era.
Empty arena, that's what it's going to be called now.
And then beyond there, when we get to maybe a normal event at SummerSlam, fingers crossed, not completely holding my breath, but whenever we get back to normal arena matches with crowds, that's when we can start to consider maybe his championship reign might be in jeopardy. But until then, it's predicting Drew McIntyre victories all the way, I think.
Yep, I think so.
So, despite the final match to discuss, the Money in the Bank climb the corporate ladder match being all together this year round. It was pretty mental, and there was a lot to go through. So we'll discuss the men's and the women's actions separately.
Yeah.
So Dan, why don't you kick us off with what the women got up to in Titan Tower?
So the women started the match in the lobby of WWE headquarters. Apart from Asuka, which started on the balcony and dived off onto her 5 other opponents. Asuka then, while dancing, her brilliant dance. Asuka then danced her way into the elevator with the other women chasing by using the stairs. Asuka met them on another floor, but with the other women distracted by the men, she was able to slink off again with only Shayna Baszler in tow. Somehow Asuka lost her, and Baszler was found by Jax, Mella, and Brooke. They fought in a conference room with a fake Money in the Bank briefcase in it, and Brooke celebrated like she won after taking it down, for God's sake. Carmella ended her celebration by hitting her over the head with a photo of her celebrating. The ladies finally catch up with Asuka and chase her up the blue staircase to the roof. Asuka is able to dispatch with Nia Jax and Lacey Evans and goes for the briefcase, but for some reason, King Corbin tries to stop her. For God's sake again. Asuka kicks him in the head, sending him crashing to the mat, and finally the Empress of Tomorrow is able to pull down the briefcase and becomes Miss Money in the Bank.
I'll take my kudos now. We'll just start right with that. Nailed it.
Oh dear.
So 1-1 on the predictions. Yep. I predicted Asuka to win.
1-1.
And I'm very glad to see Asuka win this. Not only because it pads my ego, but because, as I said in the preview, I think there's so much fun that can be had with this, with Asuka. The fact that she's going to be a constant threat on the shoulder of Becky Lynch. Like, I'm going to cash in. I'm going to cash in. I might cash in today. No, I won't. I'm just going to dance around you.
That's probably what's going to happen.
I don't know why Asuka's suddenly a Cockney, but she is, apparently.
Apparently she's a Cockney from Japan. But I think it's good that she won it. I think she can do a lot of fun stuff. Why the hell was Baron Corbin trying to stop her?
Yeah, I mean, I think what they were trying to do is Baron Corbin was trying to get the men's briefcase. But why interact with Asuka at all? Just climb the other side of the ladder and go for your thing on your side. Yeah. You didn't have to get in Asuka's way, so there was no reason for you two to clash at all.
No.
You're both heels. It was just the whole kind of interaction between the men and the women was weird. Because again, it comes down to that stupid, pointless cliche of the women can hit the men, but the men can't hit the women.
Yeah, because it's sexist.
Yeah, you can't do one without the other. If they are competitors that are going to come across each other in this professional sports environment, and one gender can kick one in the head, but you can't reciprocate, it's ridiculous. It's just utterly ridiculous. There wasn't even so much as a finger poke. There was no touching at all, no interaction from a male to female perspective. Especially
when Shayna had Rey Mysterio in a headlock.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio was just taking it.
Was it Rey Mysterio or was it AJ Styles?
No, Rey Mysterio was in the headlock. I remember his mask. AJ Styles was pinned underneath the weights. Oh
yeah. I've just checked the notes for the next rundown, and it was Rey Mysterio. I just remembered that differently for some reason. Maybe I'm mixing it up with AJ being pinned under the weights, but the fact that Shayna Baszler was able to completely choke out a male competitor, but there was no reciprocity at all between any of the men to the women. Even as far as just, shoving them in a room and locking the door, anything. I would have taken any kind of interaction the other way. There was nothing. Yeah. But it's totally fine for Asuka to kick Baron Corbin full out in the head and potentially give him a concussion.
Yeah.
Because she is woman. She will not hurt him. It's okay.
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay. Changing the subject. Dana Brooke getting that fake briefcase.
Oh, for God's sake!
It
was an excuse to bring Stephanie McMahon in. It was just.
But nonsense. Was it me, or what? Did it look like Stephanie McMahon was videoed somewhere else?
Yeah, that was some social distancing at work.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Like, I'm not going in the room with those people. They might have the coronavirus. Just film me against a wall. They'll never know.
I was watching it. I was like, really? But, and yeah. But something that distracted me, though, you know how in Bayley's match that Sasha Banks' outfit was distracting?
Yeah.
Was it me, or was Carmella's outfit a bit distracting?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. There was a point in which I think it was after. Who was it that laid out Carmella in the end? Was it Nia Jax that laid out Carmella
Nia Jax putting her through a table?
Yeah, that's it. When she went through the table, it did seem like there was an extreme need for Carmella to hold herself in, if you catch my
wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, because when they've then panned down to her, it did look a little like the ladies were free.
Yeah.
And Carmella was just covering them with her arm. And I'm sure that wasn't the case.
No.
But in something as pre-recorded... Just twatting my mic, bear with me a moment. In something as pre-recorded as this is, surely you could have gone and fixed that.
Yeah. Well, because
that match did not happen live. Let's
looked like
clear.
It looked like the whole way through that the ladies were barely hanging in there.
You can do it. Hang in there.
Was it just me, or were they just kind of like just hanging on for dear life?
It was only when, after she'd been put through the table, that I noticed anything. Carmella tends to dress like that for most of her matches. And fair play to the women of WWE. They must have some shares in some really good tape, because they managed to keep everything locked down and tight pretty well.
Yeah, everything was quite well done, wasn't
it? They were in there, and most of the time they don't come out. I just think something went wrong with the table spot.
Double-sided sticky tape went wrong.
Had to add her own. For God's sake, I keep twatting this mic. And Carmella had to add her own little addition of her arm to make sure nothing escaped.
Yes. That was my observation anyway.
Fair enough. I think that about covers the women's side. So we'll move swiftly on to the men's portion. And the men kicked off their side of the action in the gym, because that's not a stereotype. Fighting there quite some time before a chase ensued involving all of the men except for AJ Styles, whom Otis pinned under some weights. On the next floor, the men fought amongst the women in a fake ring decorated area, and Aleister Black was able to sneak away. Daniel Bryan kicked Corbin and Otis into oblivion before heading off himself. In search of Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, who inexplicably got free from the weights, stumbled into a room supposedly where Vince keeps the Undertaker in his spare time, and he was shut in there by Aleister Black. Rey, however, was busy being choked out by Shayna Baszler, as we already mentioned, in amongst a massive food fight. While fighting, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan finally made it into Vince McMahon's office, and Vince promptly kicked them out again.
Yeah.
The pair were jumped by King Corbin, and he decided to head to the roof. Otis reached the roof next and got into a brawl with the King. Black and Mysterio reach the top and join the melee before they are pushed off the ladder by AJ Styles. Corbin throws out both of them out of the arena area where the ring is, and you can hear each man land with a very audible thud. Corbin and AJ Styles fight atop the ladder over the briefcase, and it is taken from the hook. When from out of nowhere, Elias hits Corbin with a guitar. AJ fumbles the case, and waiting below, Otis catches the briefcase and is crowned 2020 Mr. Money in the Bank. Warning, F-bomb approaching. What the fuck?
So we're forgetting about Tucker, yeah? And that they're a tag team, yeah?
More substantially than that. So Otis is a main eventer now, is he? Is that what's happening?
Apparently.
Like, I'm lost for words, and it's been a few hours since I watched this event, and I still can't bring the words or any kind of explanation for why this decision was made. Who booked this match? Like,
sod knows.
I just don't understand why Otis is crowned Mr. Money in the Bank.
I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine.
And that's the problem. I don't have any. I don't know where this is going.
No.
Otis isn't going to win the the Universal Championship.
You never know. I don't think he'll go around his waist.
And they did do the ladder can't hold Otis thing that you predicted.
Yeah, but that was you. If you look at the ladder, it's like, well, that's blatantly rigged.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we may have predicted that, but I don't think anybody in the world predicted Otis winning this match.
But
I can't even remember who I predicted. Probably AJ, but sure as hell wasn't Otis.
I can't remember. No, I predicted Daniel Bryan.
You did do Daniel Bryan, yeah. I remember that now.
But something else I want to say is Corbin a murderer now.
Well, they didn't go off the roof, and they'd done enough establishing shots to show that the area where the ring wasn't the end of the building. So they just went, off the side into another area, and anticlimax, man.
Yeah.
I went out on a limb and I said that somebody was going off the roof, and I feel let down that nobody went off the roof.
Yeah.
And this match was cinematic in the same way that the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match was.
Yeah.
But it was also closer to a conventional match, like just a regular Falls Count Anywhere, than any of those. And so the lack of commentary, apart from the awkward as hell kind of recaps when Asuka and Otis pulled down the championships that were clearly taped after the fact somewhere else.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Yeah.
The lack of commentary was really distracting, because I think that someone like Corey Graves would have had a whale of a time describing the things that was happening as they made their way through.
He'd have had great fun.
Just the moment in Vince McMahon's office, they'd have had a field day with that.
That was brilliant. I like in that moment where they kind of act a bit sheepish, and then they have to tidy up the chairs, and then they'll leave.
And then they go outside, and they're like, "You really acted like a coward in there." It's like, "Hey, it was your idea to tuck the chairs back under," and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Oh, let's just fight again. It was ridiculous, but in the best kind of way.
It was funny,
but overall,
yeah,
with all the hype that this match had been given, and okay, to be fair, I think a lot of us observing wrestling might have overhyped this in our own heads a bit more than it ever possibly could have been good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I expected more from this match.
I did. I enjoyed it.
Same.
But I did expect more. More just shenanigans.
Like, I feel like I paid for somebody to go off the roof. That should have been a thing, an inevitable thing.
You paid for someone to be murdered. Yeah. And it didn't come, so you want your money back.
Yeah. Murder or money back. That's the
rule, isn't it?
That's the level we're at now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take note.
Maybe that should go on an official main roster t-shirt. Murder or money back?
I don't know about that one.
What, you wouldn't wear that one out in public?
Maybe not.
Go and do your shopping.
If you
wear
send
your coronavirus mask, t-shirt that says murder or money back.
If you show me a video of you going shopping with that shirt or mask on, I will buy one.
It's like my shirt. Oh, you can't read. Yeah, it says murder or money back. No, you can't have any context. Have a nice day.
Oh God, we're going off track here.
We are.
Anyway.
Quick shout out for the cameos in the match as a whole. I don't think I missed any. We saw Brother Love. We saw Doink the Clown. We saw Stephanie McMahon, possibly from another location. We saw Paul Heyman, which was probably my favourite cameo of the whole thing.
That was brilliant.
And we saw WWE Chairman Vince McMahon in his office with the famous dinosaur head.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Doink the Clown one got me.
He didn't look like any previous Doink the Clown.
No. It just looks so weird.
He had a very long head, and Doink the Clown was always a more kind of rotund, circular, round-faced guy.
And did you notice that he didn't actually have any costume on?
No.
It was just a guy in a shirt.
No. Is that why he was behind the bin or whatever that was?
Yeah, he kind of pokes up and you kind of see like up to there, and it's like he's just wearing like a light blue shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, at least wear like the jacket or something. But yeah.
We did see Roman Reigns in this match on a poster.
We did. So we haven't forgotten about him.
We didn't like go through the halls and find that Vince McMahon had spray painted "Die Roman Die" on it or something.
Just a big X.
Deleted.
No, they won't be able to see delete.
No, they wouldn't want to do
AEW.
that. So, what was your favourite moment from this unique Money in the Bank ladder match?
Probably just Asuka dancing.
Yeah, I think Asuka in general was my kind of highlight. Yeah. I liked that she very quickly escaped, and we didn't really see much of her in the match because she was too busy like scuttering her way to the roof to win. Like she had a game plan. She came in with a game plan. She executed the game plan. She danced a bit, and then she won.
Yeah, and she was the smart one and used the elevator.
Yeah, but last thing on it, why did the women get the advantage of starting right next to the elevator while the men were just in a random room, which was the gym?
Because according to WWE, women aren't as good as men.
Women can't use stairs.
No, they can't.
They must use the elevator.
They must. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Job done.
So, looking back then over the event as a whole, how many Titan Towers out of 5 would you rate this event?
I would only give it a 2.
Oh, okay. I thought my rating of 3 was pretty harsh.
Yeah.
But you've dropped it all the way to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
thought you enjoyed this event more than me, if I'm honest.
I did enjoy it, but there was not a lot that made me go, wow. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I know absolutely what you mean. And it's the very same reason that they've only got 3. It wasn't a bad event.
No, it wasn't bad. It was good. Like the matches you watch, you're like, okay, this is good. Yeah. But it's nothing like me going, holy shit, you know?
Yeah. There was nothing really bringing it all together. There was no real surprises, even though they had so many opportunities for surprises. Like the cameos, they weren't particularly massive cameos. Like we had 3 executive producers, 1 owner, and whoever the hell Doink the Clown was. I don't even know who was dressed up as Doink the Clown. So they hadn't like brought anyone in as a cameo. They didn't have any other member of the roster in there as a cameo other than Elias.
Yeah.
But there was more they could have done, I think.
Oh, yeah. I was expecting a lot more. A lot more.
So I think 2 is harsh, but
yeah,
I can see where you're coming from.
Anyway, but before we finish, coming up on Raw tonight, we have Becky Lynch will be confronted by Miss Money in the Bank Oscar, and Edge will confront Randy Orton.
Now, I'm not really understanding the message here. Is Edge confronting Randy Orton, or is he in a match with Randy Orton? Do you have any clarity?
I believe he's confronting him. That's all I can say. That's all I know.
Thanks.
So
hopefully, I meant thanks WWE. Like, thanks for making this happen. It's something we obviously really needed. But I'm hoping that Edge will come out and like they'll just do a crappy like, oh, you know, you beat me, handshake, Randy Orton kind of thing, and then someone else comes out and starts a whole new thing with Edge.
Yeah.
I hope that we're not going into another match with Edge and Orton. I don't need to see that.
No, I want to see Edge do something with a championship.
Yes. Yeah. I'd love, as I said a few weeks ago, I'd love to see Edge go into a rivalry straight away with Drew McIntyre and get that going. I don't think that's going to happen in an empty arena. I think Edge has so limited a number of appearances that they want to save that for a crowd, for a paying audience.
Yeah.
So maybe not McIntyre yet, but who knows? Maybe Andrade could get involved and eventually defend his US title that he's held without defending for a very long time and been suspended while holding and been injured while holding and been a dick while holding, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Get the United States Championship maybe away from a Mexican.
For the first time in over a year. Yeah.
Yes. There we go.
But I'm not looking forward to Edge on Raw. I feel like they could have just said Edge will be on Raw, and I would have been a lot more excited then. Edge will confront Randy Orton, or Edge will be in the ring with Randy Orton. I'm like,
great.
Thanks, don't care. No. Edge will be on Raw. Excellent. Bring him on.
Job done. Sorted. Bang on.
Right. Well, on that disappointment, I think it's time for us to close this review. Unfortunately, something I hate more than losing
is drawing.
We have ended this prediction event in a tie.
So
I don't know what we do about that.
We're co-champions.
I think we might have to go like double or nothing on. No pun intended. AEW, thanks for your name. We may have to go double or nothing on Backlash.
Yeah.
Whoever wins Backlash wins both and gets
two championships. Notches.
Yeah.
But it's basically, I keep this at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you can keep that one all the time. I don't want that one. It's got far too much Jeff Hardy on it. for my liking.
Just to annoy you.
You can win me another championship on the millions of raffles that you're currently taking part in on Facebook at the moment to win championship belts.
I haven't got anything else to do at the moment.
Yeah, so yeah, go win me a championship. But I think there's definitely room once we get to the end of the year and we are closer to knowing who wins overall at the pay-per-view prediction game in 2020 for the main roster championship to be donned by the victor.
Yeah, we can try it.
And one last thing before we finish.
Mm-hmm.
Very recently on Facebook, we've had some feedback from some people who've listened in the past and interacted with us about maybe going back to doing a retro roster episode and looking at something from the 80s.
Yeah.
And the idea of SummerSlam 1989 has come up as a candidate for the retro roster. Now, I have never seen that event.
I haven't either, so
I'd been thinking in the back of my mind that the next retro roster we do, I would like it that neither of us had seen the event before.
So it's fresh for both of us.
So I think that officially, I'm ready to say that SummerSlam 1989 will be our next episode of the retro roster.
And
will probably be our next episode, full stop. I don't really see a need to do another recap of Empty Arena Raw and SmackDown for a couple of weeks. So
no.
What do you say we watch SummerSlam 89 and reconvene on the retro roster next week?
Yeah, let's try that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So next Tuesday night,
my busy
live on YouTube. Yeah, if you can take some time out from sitting on your ass in lockdown, yeah.
Hold on, let me get my diary.
So book it into your diaries, folks. Watch SummerSlam 89 this week. And next week, on the retro roster, at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, we shall break it down, see what the event was like. I have no idea what happened, but I think it is a fairly popular pay-per-view event.
Yeah,
I just tend not to go back that far normally. So let's get out of our comfort zone.
Yes. I can see what it's like before I was born.
Oh my God, thanks for that. So on that note, if you enjoy the main roster, the retro roster, anything that we do, please give us a like on social media. You can find me at the Jez Show on Facebook, on Twitter, and at the Jez Show _ IG on Instagram. Where can we find you on social media, Danny boy?
Twitter at DannyT259.
Lovely. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Ring the bell so that you know whenever we're broadcasting. Like and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. Listen to the main roster. And other than that, we'll see you next week. And hopefully SummerSlam 1989 will be a better event than Money in the Bank 2020.
Yeah, hope so.
I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
And you've been listening to the main roster on the Jez Show Podcast Network. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.